Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about the vocal registers, what they are, how they work, and how they can help you navigate the different parts of your voice so you can go from low notes to high notes with ease. Real quick, before we get into it, if you guys are new here, I made the Vocal Power audiobook season 1 of the podcast, just so you guys can start learning for free. Now, there's also the Kindle, which is 99 cents on Amazon. That's the lowest I could put it on there. And you can get the Audible and paperback on Amazon too, if that's your thing. Anyways, let's get back to it. Registration, so what is it? It's how we access the different parts of our voice, and we can go from low to high. Now, there's a couple of different registers. In the book, though, I put a quote that I just want to read to you really quickly. It's a Warren Buffett quote. It says, "There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult." Now, the most common mistake I see new singers make is they try and access the different registers of their voice with just the one register they can find, which is usually chest voice. And what they do is they grab this register and they try and drive it all the way through their entire range. And I can promise you from personal experience, that just won't work. All it's gonna do is lead to strain, fatigue, and just overall sadness as a creative. So there is a better way to do it, and let's chat about it. The primary registers are chest voice and head voice, and each one has a muscle associated with them that either makes the vocal cords short and thick, producing the lower notes, or long and thin, producing the high notes. Now, most singers can find the chest voice pretty easily because they speak in it, which essentially, if you just put your hand on your chest and you just say, hey, you should feel a sympathetic vibration on your chest just there, this like deep resonant sound. That's what chest voice is. Now, that's also called mode 1, and the primary muscle that's active there is called the thyroretinoid muscle, and that's just making your vocal cords short and thick, and it's producing those deep, rich tones. Now, head voice is the opposite, so if you put your hand on your back of your head and say wee like a child, wee, you'll feel that like it either emanates from the back of your head, or if you don't notice that, what you will notice is that sympathetic vibration on your chest from the chest voice has pretty much disappeared. This is called mode 2, and what's happening is the vocal cords are now long and thin, and the muscle that's responsible for that is called the cricothyroid muscle. But don't worry, you don't need to know all these fancy things. It just stretches and shortens the vocal cords. That's all that's happening. Super easy. So what lies between chest voice and head voice? That's called the mixed voice, and essentially the reason we have that is so that we don't have a loss of power in the voice, because the chest voice is pretty heavy, ma ma ma, and the head voice is lighter, ma ma ma. So there's gonna be a power loss in the middle. So we need to fill that in with a mix, ma ma ma. And it still has the heady quality and the chesty quality, and we fill that in. So now what I want you to do is imagine the sound of a baby crying. So we're just gonna do a little bit higher, and you'll feel it kind of between the bridge of your nose and your mouth if you feel the sympathetic vibrations. It's gonna be more up here. Wah, wah. Wah! There's a bit of a buzz to it as well, okay? It's very different to down here, hey, and up here, wee! Okay, so these are the three kind of parts of the voice. Now, I know you're probably thinking that baby's cry sounds horrible, and you're right, it does. That's why it's called an unfinished sound. It's just allowing us to get in that part of our voice. Wah! Okay, it's very different to hey, wah! When a man loves a woman. And we're in that mix area now, and I dropped off the heaviness. So it allows your voice to go up. Now it is super ugly because it's a bit too bratty still, but as you get used to getting in the mix, you can start backing that bratty quality off and rebalancing your voice. Now, I don't want you to confuse this with nasality, okay? So when we're in there, the wah, what you'll notice is if you actually block your nose, the quality shouldn't change that much. There is a little bit of leakage into the nasal cavity through something called the VPO at the back, but that's okay. Just a little bit of resonance through there gives us a nice, like little mid-range bump as well. Totally fine. Could relieve a little bit of extra, pressure as well. Not a problem. But we just don't want too much. So I don't want to hear an audible change. So keep an eye on that. We don't want it to be nasal. All right, cool. So now let's put the voice into the batter's box so that as new singers, we can access each part of our voice from low to high. So number 1 is going to be called the authority box, and that's our chest voice. So you can just think of it when you want to access it, just like, hey, no, it's that deep resonant sound, okay? And that box is just here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move up into the next box, which was the baby's cry or the duck's quack. Wah! Now we're going to go up to the third box, which is the kid in the playground. Wee, woo! That gives us the 3 primary parts of the voice so that we can start singing our favorite songs. So take a swing in each kind of box and have a feel, like sing a song up in head voice, nice and light. Sing a bit of a song in the mixed voice. Sing a bit of a song in the chest voice. And just remember, it's going to be the authority box, the baby's cry, and the kid on a slippery slide. And what we're doing is we're just looking to get our brain to think about the voice a little bit differently so we can snap you out of that being stuck in chest voice mode, okay? And we can start accessing more of the voice. Now, there is a lot of debate about registration and their names, but chest voice, mixed voice, head voice will get most of you to be able to sing the songs that you want to sing. And that's kind of the goal here, right? As voice teachers, like, we're trying to help you sing your songs, not become voice scientists. So if you already know these things and you want to know a little bit more, let's stretch it out a little bit more, because the voice is more on a continuum. It's not a binary of like it's on and it's off. It blends through these things. There's not a specific note that you say, that's the note, and it changes. Okay, so if we were looking at it more on a spectrum, let's think about it like 7 colors. So we'd have vocal fry at the bottom, that's gonna be the super duper low. Then we have chest voice. Then we have upper chest voice. Then we have mixed voice right in the middle. Then we have head voice. Then we have super head voice, and finally whistle. So there'd be like 7 kind of colors if we were looking at it like on a spectrum, and they just gently blend into each other. All right, that is it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Like, subscribe, spread the word, all the good stuff. Be amazing, and I'll catch you next time.